Welcome, everyone, to the sixth episode of the Magic-A-Thon. My name is Alexander Thorn, and I am happy to welcome the newcomers and welcome back those of you who never left. Like with our past few shows, we would love to have you join us live, so make sure to visit the Zoom link in the comments. You should see that somewhere. Otherwise, all volunteers welcome. Now, for those of you who are new, the Magic-A-Thon is a platform that fantastic magicians from all over the world get to use to come together and provide some entertainment for those of us who are stuck at home. We are here to help you through these troubled times, and hopefully you can help us as well. Many were affected by the epidemic in more ways than just health. For any who are able to, any donations given to the link below to help support the arts will be greatly appreciated. Think of it like a virtual hat being passed around by a trio of magical performers. Lucre has been on the minds of many lately, so today my story shall be about the true cost of money and what it can and cannot get you. Firstly, I've always loved folk tales, especially those from other countries, and the older the better. One of my favorite folk heroes involves a certain man in ancient Japan by the name of Uka Tadasuke. Uka was a wise and famous judge who never refused to hear a case, no matter how strange it may have been. His strangest case began simply enough. A student had rented a room above a shop where fried food was sold. The student was a nice young man, but the shop owner was a bitter miser. One day, the shop owner heard the student talking to one of his friends. "Oh, I hate being so poor, that the only food we can afford is plain rice." The student replied, "Well, it's not so bad. For me, since taste is dependent on smell, I eat my rice while the shop owner below me is frying his food. The smell comes up to my room and seems to flavor my rice." Well, the miserly old shop owner was absolutely furious over this. To think that someone was enjoying his food, even if it was just the smell, without paying him for it. The student, he reasoned, was nothing but a dirty thief. The miser went to the student and demanded payment. "You must pay me for all the smells you have stolen from my shop." The student couldn't believe how silly this was. "I'm not going to pay a penny. Anyone can smell anything." The shop owner, feeling wronged, went to the court of Judge Uka and charged the student with theft before the judge. Now, no one thought Uka would hear the case. How stupid it was to think a smell could be stolen. But Uka consented to hear the case and render a decision, saying, "If someone feels strongly enough about his smells to bring the matter to court, it is my duty to hear him out." And so Uka heard the man's evidence and made his decision. The young student is indeed quite guilty. Taking another man's property is theft, and I cannot see that a smell is any different from any other property. Well, the shop owner was quite happy with the judge's decision, but the student was frightened. Being so very poor, he had almost no money, and he now had to pay the shop owner for months of smells. Not being able to pay, he knew he would be going to prison for a long, long time. Uka asked the student how much money he had. The student reached into his pocket, pulled out 5 small coins. The student showed them to the judge. "This is all the money I have, Your Honor, and I need that to pay my rent." "Hand me the coins," Judge Uka ordered, and the student gave him all of those little coins. The judge dropped it into his hand and into the other, passing them around, jingling it a bit, listening to the sound. Looking at the shop owner, Judge Uka announced, "You have been paid in full. Next case." "I don't understand," the shop owner exclaimed. "I haven't been paid at all. I was given no money." Judge Uka looked at him. "It is my judgment that for justice to be served, the punishment must fit the crime. I have decided that the price for the smell of food should be the sound of money." He made sure to hand all the coins back to that student, proclaiming that, as always, justice had indeed been served in the court of Judge Uka. Before we go, another little story for you all. Some time ago, a man, let's call him George, was walking through the woods and ran across a small little bag. Oh, Well, inside the bag, you'd see my little fingers there because it seems I forgot to close the little pouch. Ah! All right. Curiosity being one of his few faults, he stopped and opened the bag, and caught inside was a small genie. "Thank you," said the little tiny genie. "I've been trapped there forever, it seems, and I'm so glad to be free." "So this means I get 3 wishes, right?" Well, no, not really. This whole 3 wishes thing was a long time ago. Times change. Unfortunately, you can only have 1 wish." "1 wish? Just 1? Yeah, and because times have really changed, the value of your wish cannot be over the sum total of $1.98. $1.98! George could not believe his luck, which a few seconds ago looked so good, but now sounded so bad. "Yes, $1.98. I'm sorry, but times change, you know? So, if I wish for a car, well, it would have to be a small car with no value greater than $1.98. And if I asked for money, you'd only get about $1.98's worth." Oh, so much for wishing to be king of the world. Unfortunately, I can't make you the king of any world, much less this one, but I could offer you this little sticker. Unfortunately, though, you couldn't be the king of any country whose gross natural product is over $1.98, let alone the entire world. George was a bit dejected, but he thought and thought and thought, and then he realized something. But what if I wished for, what if I wished for a kabillion wishes? Then that would all add up to... No, sorry. 1 wish per customer. Wishing for wishes is not allowed. George once again became crestfallen. What in the world could he wish for? With only 1 wish and $1.98 to get back? He sat on the ground in front of the genie, his head in his hands, more than a little depressed. "Look," said the genie, "it's not my fault. Between upper management and the unions, my hands are tied. You're a nice guy. I can tell these things. And I'd give you anything you'd want because you deserve it. But I can't, and it's depressing for me too. How about you tell me what you really, really want? And maybe I can help find some way to get around the rules. 2 heads, even when one is little tiny, are better than 1." So George told the genie, and the genie thought and thought and thought. George had asked for something worth a lot more than $1.98. But the genie continued to think, and then finally the genie smiled. "You got it, George. Piece of cake, and thanks again." George looked up just in time to see the genie smile and disappear. About that time, a stunningly, achingly beautiful person walked right into the forest, took 1 look at George, and fell in love with George as hard and as eternally as George did for them. You see, George never gave a thought about how he received the most valuable, absolutely priceless thing in the universe: true love. But the genie thought of something George didn't. You see, the genie gave George the precious gift of another human being and the value of all the chemicals, all the minerals, and such that make up the human body. Exactly $1.98. Well, that is my time, everyone. Stick around because up next we have a couple of amazing performers on the way. Up next we have Adam Wylie. Adam has been an entertainer his whole life. As an actor, you may recognize him for his multiple films, TV, and stage appearances, including Gilmore Girls, Wicked, Pocket Listing, and more. He's won numerous awards for his adept sleight of hand, including Magic Castle's Strolling Magic Champion. Also, a little bit of a personal note. When I was a child, I was obsessed with the movie Under Wraps, which is where I first saw Mr. Adam Wylie, wore that VHS out. So anyway, without further ado, Mr. Adam Wylie. Let me just unmute you. Hold on 1 moment. 1 second, hold on.
And that's how a bill
There we
becomes a
go.
law. Thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed my show. But I'm totally kidding. I just realized that I am now unmuted. Hi, everybody. I'm so glad to have you guys here watching this show. I happen to have a deck of cards. I'm going to need a volunteer. So, Mr. Thorn, if you wouldn't mind picking a volunteer for me, that would be excellent. Who we got? Anybody? Bueller. Who's out there? Do we have a volunteer?
Hi.
We do. It is Miss Joy Lou joining us.
Hello.
Let me try to go to a spirit. Hi, Joy. How are you?
I'm good.
Oh, good. Joy, I want you to just name out loud any card from a deck of cards. Doesn't matter what it is.
3 of diamonds.
The 3 of diamonds. That's an excellent card. Why the 3 of diamonds, out of curiosity?
First thing that came to my mind.
That's usually what people say. Yeah, that's a pretty good thing. Joy, you're never going to believe this. Every time I do magic, every single time, I actually, in my back pocket, I have a wallet. Inside my wallet, I always have one upside down card, Joy. That card is always the 3 of diamonds. So I really appreciate you. I appreciate that. In a moment, Joy, I want you to think of a completely different card. Okay? Something completely different. Not yet. Do not say it out loud. I want you to just think of it, okay? And you just let me know when you have it. Okay? Just let me know when you have that card.
Yep.
Are you thinking? You got it? Okay, great. Go ahead and look into the Zoom. Okay, all right. All right. You know what? I have no idea what you're thinking. I do cards. I don't read minds. However, I am going to mark off one random card, just like this. One random card right here, and I'm going to put it down. Joy, would you be amazed if this card right here is the card you're thinking of?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, me too. That would be incredible. That's a 1 in 52 shot. I have no idea. For the first time, out loud, what's the card you're thinking of?
2 of hearts.
The 2 of hearts? 2 hearts that beat as 1? 2 of hearts? I need you. That one? That is a great card. And Joy, I'm going through to check your math, and I actually don't have a 2 of hearts. Magic. I changed it completely to the queen. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, that wasn't, at least it was a heart, right? Okay. You know what, Joy? I do have a backup plan. Do you know what my backup plan is? Inside my back pocket, do you believe in deja vu? This is kind of like deja vu. Inside my back pocket, I still have an upside down card. Do you know what card that might be? You're absolutely right. It's the Queen of Hearts. You're absolutely, because the card that was here the entire time is in fact your named card, the 2.
Okay.
Thank you guys so much. I have some more really fun things up ahead for you. We're going to do another thing with cards now. I don't need a volunteer for this one, but I'm going to go through. I want you guys to actually see that this is in fact a normal Costco bicycle deck of cards. That's all completely different. That's going to be very important in a second. I want you guys to see as I go through. I'm going to pick out some random cards here. I'm going to take that 3 of spades. That looks, I'll take, no, you know what? Here, let me try this one more time. Shuffle them up. I'll take, let's see, I'll take the Jack of clubs. That looks a little bit better. And I'll take out the Ace of clubs. That sounds like a good idea. And maybe the 8 of spades there. And maybe I'll do those 3, that one, this one. Yeah, you know what? That'll be just fine. So I'm going to grab a few cards. I want you guys to actually see these cards. I'm going to keep them in full view the entire time. That may not mean anything to you now, but it absolutely will. So we have got, what, 8 cards here? We have 8 cards here. So I'm going to take out a couple of jacks. We have 2 jacks, and they're going to represent our piles. I'm going to tilt you guys face down so that you can actually see everything that's going on. Don't worry, you still won't lose sight of these cards. I'm just going to go ahead and put all of the black cards where the black cards should go, put all of the red cards where the red cards should go. And then I'm going to put them into one pile. So I'm going to take a red card and put them here, black card, put it here, a red card, a black card, and a red card, and a black card to mix them all up. If I snap, they separate out. You have a black card, and a black card, and a black card, and only red cards down here. Don't worry, we'll do it again, just in case. I'm gonna mix them though, incredibly fair, so that everybody can see exactly what I'm doing. I have an ace of clubs. I have a 2 of diamonds, so your red card, black card, red card, black card, red card. If I snap here, that's a red card, that's a red card, that's a red card, that's a black card, that's a black card, and that's a black card. Now we're gonna make them switch places. So instead of making them interlace, we're gonna make them switch places. I'm gonna show you what I mean. You have an ace of clubs there, a queen of spades, an 8 of spades, a jack of clubs. I'm going to leave that jack of clubs face up, and I'm going to put all of the rest of the cards in a fan above it. Now watch, this is going to happen very quickly. You're going to switch places with the red cards. 1, 2, 3. That's a red card. That's a red card. That's a red card. That's a red card, leaving all of the black cards face down right here. Now I said that this deck of cards wouldn't leave your sight, and I was not lying about that. I'm going to put all of these cards back because it's really impressive to do it with 8 cards, but it's even more impressive if we did it with 52 and made all of those cards separate out red and black. Now we're going to use that Queen of Hearts because that's actually the card that controls all of the rest of the deck. I don't know if you guys knew that, but you're going to know that now. See, even if I were to cut the deck like this, and shuffle, a souffle for French, like that. Even cut. Oh, I think we lost me for a second. We could push them all together and they still wouldn't shuffle. Really, really crazy. Sorry, I got a phone call there. It was so strange. Now watch really quickly. I'm going to take that queen. I'm going to put it back inside the deck. And as soon as that queen is back inside the deck, the cards shuffle. And I don't have to do anything. That's the greatest part about this. I do absolutely nothing. Now, time for something a little bit different. I love doing magic with other kinds of objects. I'm going to do some magic for you guys with some coins. I have a coin right here. We're going to play a little game, okay? Something really awesome is going to happen. All right, now watch. See if you can follow along, okay? This is very fun. We'll see if you guys can follow. We have a coin right here. We're going to put the coin inside the scarf. Just a little bit of wind, and it does, in fact, vanish. It goes into my sleeve. I don't know if you guys knew that. Do you see it in my sleeve right here? Everybody see that? It doesn't go into that sleeve. It actually goes into this sleeve, but that's not the cool part. The cool part is the bottle. That's the cool part. Everybody, yeah, we followed? Okay, great, perfect. We'll do it again. So this time we're going to do a little bit of coin magic, and I'm going to grab other coins along with this. Now I want you guys to see that I'm going to put all of these coins in a line. I want you guys to see all of the coins, see exactly what I'm doing. These are normal $50. I'm putting them in a line, and what I'm going to do is make them move from one side of the table to the other. I want you guys to follow along, okay? Watch. 4 coins, no coins. That's 3 coins, and now 1. 1, 2, 3, and 1. Watch again. Two and 2. Okay, I promise you're going to catch me on this one. I promise, okay? Here, you're going to see this one go. Did you guys see it go? It didn't happen yet. Hold on. Just like that. The last one is going to go actually into the coin case. Watch very, very carefully. This one is going into the coin case. It's going right in there, okay? It's going to go right into the coin case. Here we go. Thank you so much. Okay. Okay, that was dumb. It's okay. It's all right. I'm gonna take it out. That way you guys can actually see it's completely, totally empty. All that stuff. Watch very carefully. Switch this out. Okay? You guys hear it? Everybody hear it? Right there. I have one more card trick for you guys. I really want to show you this. This is super fun. This is a super fun trick. Grab this real quick. We're gonna grab a few cards. I am gonna need another volunteer if you don't mind for this. So as soon as we have a volunteer, we will do this thing. Do we have another volunteer? I'm gonna take out a couple cards while we're getting. I'm gonna take out the two black kings while I do this. Two black kings. Do we have another volunteer there? Alex?
Yes, me.
Oh, hi.
Yeah.
Hi, Jenny. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
It's so good to see you. Jenny,
Yay.
I have I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. I have two black kings here. I have a full deck of cards. I'm just gonna run the cards like this. I would like you, if you wouldn't mind, to just call out any of the cards you see. Doesn't matter.
Ooh, two of spades.
Oh, which one is that? Where was
A
that?
little back, further back.
That's okay. That's good. Two of spades. This one.
Yes.
Excellent. And Jenny, we're gonna write your name. Jenny Storm on that card. So that way it is the only card with your name on it, okay? Now I'm gonna take all three of these cards and we're gonna do something really, really fun. Watch very carefully as I take your card, the two kings. I'm gonna put your card in between the two kings, just like this, and we're gonna spread them out in a fan so that you can see them. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Now watch your card in the middle. All I have to do is shake.
Ha!
It does flip face up to show your name. We're gonna do that again, okay? Watch very, very carefully. We're gonna take your card, Jenny, just like this. We're gonna put it into the deck, right between those cards.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna fan them out so you actually see the fan. And right here, we'll just make your card flip face up. Now this time is going to be a little bit different, okay? I'm going to use something else. I'm going to keep it. You're going to see that it is in fact between those two kings, and all I'm going to do is turn everything over. No tricky, weird movements, and fan everything out. That's all I'm going to do. And I'm going to use my magic marker for this. Watch. 1, 2, 3.
Ooh.
That is still your
What?
name on it, changing colors like a chameleon.
No.
That is the karma chameleon. I have one last, I want to teach you guys a magic trick. Can I teach you guys a magic trick? Would that be cool? Would that be okay?
Yeah.
Everyone wants to learn a magic trick. All right. So did you guys know that if you take this stuff right here, this is the best stuff ever, silly putty. Silly putty is the coolest stuff ever because you can prank your friends. So I want you to learn this. And by the way, if you guys aren't already, go ahead, follow me at This Is Adam Wylie on Instagram, at This Is Adam Wylie, also on TikTok. I do a live show just about every single night. We play games, we sing, we have fun, we do magic. It's all of those things. Now look, Instagram, or silly putty looks kind of like chewed gum. Doesn't it? Like you don't think about that, but it totally looks like chewed gum. So what you can do is you can put it right here underneath the table. And you can be like, guys, look, ew, chewed gum. Now when your friends are like, but ew, you picked it up. You go, well, it's because I'm going to recycle it. And they're going to go, huh? You watch. Look, I'm going to push it into my hand just like this. And it's going to turn back into the candy that it came from. That's what you tell them. That it turns back into the candy it came from. And then you take one of these. You got to get a stick, right? And you put it onto the candy. And if they're still not convinced, then what you need to do is wrap it. Okay, you wrap it, you give it to them, and they have no idea. They can have the candy. It's so all good. It's real candy. It's awesome. But I hope you guys learned something. I'm Adam Wylie. Have an amazing, amazing day, guys. Have an amazing Sunday. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you.
Welcome back, everyone. All right, Adam Wylie. One of my favorites. All right, let me go ahead and, of course. Here we go. Wonderful. Adam Wylie, always a pleasure to have. Up next, we have another favorite of mine. This one did not start in the Disney Channel original movie Under Wraps, but he is no less amazing. Up next, we have Christopher Taylor, a complete force of nature in the world of bizarre magic and storytelling. His electromagnetic feats have seen him in all kinds of places. He has given lectures for Penguin Live, amongst numerous other people, multi-award-winning performer. So without further ado, give it up for Christopher Taylor.
Hello, welcome to my home. Now, I'm a big fan of science and the history of science. I came across an interesting thing the other day, and that the most famous scientific experiment in history is probably Schrodinger's cat. Now, for those non-science nerds who are watching, Schrodinger's cat revolves around the idea that there's a cat in a box, along with a mechanism of some kind that may or may not kill the cat. Poor cat. Now, the theory is that the cat is simultaneously alive and dead until someone opens the box, looks in, and sees the cat. Whereupon one of those two realities, live cat, dead cat, pops into existence. Sounds like fun, yeah? Well, they didn't actually ever do the experiment. They just thought about it. They called it a thought experiment. Now, as a mentalist, that really intrigues me. I mean, imagine a scientific experiment where the outcome is decided by what you think. So we're going to try that today. We're going to try our version of Schrodinger's cat. Now, you'll be relieved, at least some of you will be relieved, to hear that I don't have a cat in a box, but I do have a drawing of a cat in an envelope. Now, the drawing of this poor cat shows that this poor cat is either alive or dead, but both at the same time. So now we have some volunteers on standby. I'm going to ask those volunteers to think about the situation and to decide this cat's fate. Now, where's our first volunteer? Oh, and by the way, if you decide that the cat is dead, I want you to do so guilt-free, because after all, well, it's just a drawing of a cat. So our first volunteer?
Our first volunteer is none other than Vince Wilson, here to help us out.
Hello, Vince. How are you?
I'm all right, Christopher. How are you doing?
I am terrific. So I want to thank you for helping me with this highly scientific experiment here. I want you to think about this now and then tell everyone who's listening, is this a drawing of a live cat or a dead cat?
Oh, my goodness. I think it may have gotten COVID-19, so I think it's a dead cat.
So it is a dead cat. You heard this
Yes.
first. Okay. So we're going to take the experiment a little bit further. Where's our volunteer number 2?
I'm willing to.
Hi, what's your name?
Bex.
Okay, so would you tell us now, is this drawing of a dead cat a dead black cat or a dead white cat?
Oh, black cat.
It is a dead black cat. Excellent. Now, our final volunteer, Whereabouts are you?
I'm here.
Okay, and what's your name?
Chelsea.
Chelsea. Is this a drawing of a dead black female cat with a name like Bella, or is it a dead black male cat with a name like Bill?
Female cat.
It is a dead black female cat, so its name would be Bella. So if we were actually able to influence the outcome of our experiment just by thinking about it, this would be a drawing of a dead black cat named Bella. Isn't science fun? Now, here in British Columbia, in Canada, where I live, we have what we consider to be the jewel of our province, which is Vancouver Island off the coast. And on the west coast of Vancouver Island, the shore there is renowned for the spectacular storms that they get every year. As a matter of fact, storm watching has become quite a tourist attraction over the last few years. Now, at the northernmost tip of Vancouver Island, where you might expect there to be the strongest storms of all, there stands a lighthouse. It's one of the few remaining manned lighthouses in Canada today. Now, but there are no storm-chasing tourists that go there because, well, the lighthouse and the area around it hasn't seen a storm for the last 20 years. Very strange, yes. Now, all sorts of interesting explanations and stories have developed over why the storms just seem to go around the lighthouse. Most of them involve global warming. But my favorite of these stories, though, involves the old keeper of the lighthouse simply going for a walk 20 years ago. Yeah, this is the pebble in the storm. The old keeper walked away from the lighthouse on that day 20 years ago, as he did every morning. Now, he hadn't gone far when he stopped and he looked out at sea and he saw a storm building. Now, he watched it for a few minutes and decided it was going to be a really dark storm. He should probably head back to the lighthouse to check the light, the great light, to make sure it was in perfect working order in case it was needed in the storm. And as he turned to go, he looked down at his feet and he saw something gleaming there. At first he thought he found a jewel of some kind, but when he picked it up and held it in his hand, he saw it was just a pebble about the size of a child's marble. He decided, well, he was going to put it in his pocket because as he held it, he was infused with this deep sense of calm and peace. He dropped it in his pocket. Well, he is a keeper after all. Now, back at the lighthouse, after checking the light and making sure it was in perfect working order, he sat down to treat himself to watching the storm through the big windows. In about an hour, he realized that this was probably the worst storm he had ever seen in his long years as a keeper. And then to his horror, he saw a small fishing boat coming into view, floundering in the waves and being pushed directly towards the rocks that the lighthouse was sitting on. He saw himself in his mind's eye standing helpless, watching as the ship crashed upon the rocks and all of the crew dying. And instinctively, he reached into his pocket and took hold of that pebble. And that deep sense of calm and peace flooded through him again. And then he knew what to do. He knew as if he'd done it 100 times before. He rushed down the winding iron staircase and along the beach to the very point where he found the pebble. And he threw it out into the storm. Now, he was an old man, but that pebble soared 100 yards before glowing bright white hot and then vanishing into the black waves. It only took a few moments, and then the sea began to calm, the clouds parted, and the sun came out. Now, I can't promise you that you're all going to experience that deep sense of calm and peace that the old finder did, but I can promise you a little bit of the magic that he felt on that day. This will be our ocean. Yes, look, you can even see the waves. Yeah? Okay, no. Now, we need, though, a pebble. So we need a card that'll stand out nicely. I'm looking for the ace of diamonds. I think that'll do just fine. So the ace of diamonds is our pebble. That goes somewhere into the deck. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we need a storm. Yes. We need a storm. We need chaos, a mess. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we now have a dark and stormy deck. Some cards are face down, back to face. Some cards are face up, face to back. Some cards are face to face, and some cards are back to back. Now, of course, we all remember what happened when the old keeper threw his pebble into the storm. That's right. The sea calmed, the clouds parted, and the sun came out. Thank you.
Beautifully done. Christopher Taylor, everyone. A big highlight. Always fun to see. Excellent. Well, I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in to our 6th episode of the Magic-A-Thon. If you enjoyed what you have seen today, please make sure to visit the PayPal link in the description below and help us make sure that this is a series that can keep coming to you with even more wonderful episodes with even more amazing magicians. If you didn't like today's episode, make sure to give us double as restitution for hurting my feelings. Stay safe out there, everyone. We shall see you all next week. Keep the magic alive. I don't think I'll keep that catchphrase. We'll see. Have a great day.